Hi, I'm George Hechtman. I'm the founding principal of Hechtman Venture Development. And what we really do is collaborate with a group of other professional service providers focused on the consumer electronics and connectivity industries, primarily in North America. And my role is primarily as kind of the ringleader, if you will, of putting these projects together. By venture development, we work on putting together strategic ventures and joint ventures amongst companies who otherwise might not know each other and have a solution for each other. Here at the WBA, I led the recently concluded MDU Centralized Connectivity Strategies Project Group and produced a large white paper looking at the full scope of the state-of-the-art and issues in the multi-unit, multi-tenant industry. Yeah. I'm somebody that defines convergence much more broadly than what's commonly talked about in venues like this, where it's been focused very much on Wi-Fi and 5G type of convergence. But there's all these other network protocols out there, primarily in the IoT space, such as LoRaWAN and Zigbee and Z-Wave and et cetera. Many of them non-IP based. And the convergence, the downstream convergence is becoming extremely important because all of these technologies might be in any given single family residence, even let alone in MDUs where they're worked for both residential and for infrastructure purposes. And it's something everybody, I think, has avoided quite a bit. And it was really the impetus for forming the MDU working group because it's really collides in that environment where you have the landlord and the building owner, deploying devices and connectivity, and in some cases that's shared with the tenant. And we identified a lot of gaps in that. We hope to lead the industry down the path of addressing that type of convergence. Well, they're going to be forced to play a big role. We just concluded a panel here at the Network X on that subject, because the truth of the matter is somebody has a IoT centric home where they have, for instance, so-called smart light bulbs, smart switches, smart curtains, you name it. When the stuff stops working, the operator gets the call, not the person who made the curtains or whatever, because they blame it on the connectivity. And it's going to get more complicated by the day as we're now past the early adopter stage. You're going to be more into people who are not do-it-yourselfers. They're going to want to have people do it for you. So that might imply a setup truck roll, for a fully managed smart home, such as that might be. Well, USB and its predecessor technology from the Broadband Forum, TR-069, has been around for a while in basic device connectivity, primarily at the gateway type of level and access point level. And as that now spreads into more devices, particularly through the integration in the WBA operator-managed Wi-Fi construct, it now accommodates that. It's really essential to some of the device monitoring, updating, lifecycle management that's been missing in the consumer market for a long time. Yeah, and that's an important point that you brought up there about efficiencies and cost efficiencies. So the expanding use of IoT and what we might call the MDU infrastructure. In other words, say if they're centralized heating and air conditioning units, that need to be monitored, electric vehicle chargers in the garage, parking lot lights, and any number of other things, being able to orchestrate that in tandem with the network that supplies services to the tenants and contractors and whatnot. It really a lot of operational expense in particular opportunities that I know the prop tech folks are looking at very closely. Well, my first reaction to that is God only knows. Uh, it's really kind of the Wild West right now. Relatively speaking, the industry is finally waking up to the need for standards and standard architectures, and it's really going to be about adoption. We hope to do some proof of concept deployments next year, illustrating how these architectures work. Fortunately, at the heart of most of these solutions is operator managed Wi-Fi in its latest rendition of the WVA. So you have other folks like RDK and Purple Foundation and whatnot, moving towards having those common, many common standards. So